College Countdown today on a Tuesday. It's the 11th of November, 2025. And on today's show, private equity. Also, we're talking about Brian Kelly because I think there's something very important here that is a big picture topic that needs to be discussed when it comes to the LSU Brian Kelly situation. Make sure you all like the video, sub to the channel, and guys can find us wherever you get your podcasts as well as on YouTube as well. Like the video, sub, that really helps. Leave your comments as well. I'll read those, and also they give me inspiration for future episodes. We are on X/Twitter at @JoshNeighbors_, also at CC Podcast JN. Jack Allen TV, who'll be on there tomorrow. We'll have some fun things to talk about then. And also, you guys can find us. I'm at @JoshNeighbors_. All right, so Brian Kelly and LSU. There has been some news on the front of what's happened because if you remember when Brian Kelly and LSU parted ways, there was no official kind of ruling on what it had, what the final numbers were going to be and everything with the buyout and whatnot. And it has now come out that Brian Kelly, very reasonably, is pushing for every single dollar that he is owed off of his contract. And in return, LSU is trying to make a move to not pay him everything. So we'll go to ESPN here. We'll read from that. He was not formally terminated. So Dan Wetzel had a great article here. In a legal filing against LSU's Board of Supervisors, Brian Kelly's attorneys say LSU has taken the position that it has not formally terminated Kelly as the Tigers football coach. The school, according to the petition for declaratory judgment, is now seeking to file us and potentially avoid paying a full buyout of nearly $54 million. The filing claims that LSU informed Kelly's representatives of this on Monday. According to a copy of the suit obtained by ESPN, LSU's representatives had a call with Kelly's representatives where LSU took the position that Coach Kelly had not been formally terminated and informed Coach Kelly's representatives for the very first time that LSU believed grounds for termination for cause existed. And this was filed in the 19th Judicial District for Parish of East Baton Rouge. And let's see. According to the filings, Kelly's lawyers are seeking a declaratory judgment confirming that LSU's termination of Kelly is without cause and that Coach Kelly is entitled to receive full liquidated damages provided for his contract. No longer owe the full amount of the buyout. All right, so let's see. The suit does not specifically say from who from LSU spoke to Kelly's reps or what behavior might constitute for cause dismissal. The suit alleges that Kelly told that LSU told Kelly's representatives Monday that Woodward did not have the authority to terminate Coach Kelly and or make settlement offers to him in October, and thus Kelly was never officially terminated. So that's a whole nother can of worms. So they're saying Scott Woodward did not have the authority, which is odd considering that he is the boss at the time. But there's been a whole lot of things that have changed. Right now, you got a $53 million liability. We're not doing that again. That's what the governor told reporters. Kelly's contract with LSU includes a 4-clause termination that allows for his firing due to material and substantial NCAA rule violations or being convicted of a felony or any crimes involving gambling, drugs, or alcohol, or engaging in serious misconduct, which either displays a continual serious disrespect for the mission of LSU or constitutes moral turpitude. All right. So here's the deal. LSU's got a couple routes here from what I can tell. LSU can make the argument that they are firing Brian Kelly for cause and they can try and dig stuff up. It's going to be hard to do for cause if it's just for losing football games. So they can treat him like UConn did Kevin Ollie, like Tennessee did Jeremy Pruitt, and there have been other examples as well of this. And I think, you could argue even Michigan State did Mel Tucker. Or you can try and argue it's for losing, and I don't know how far that goes. I saw Tom Mars, the famous lawyer, talked about how schools rarely win these cases. It's hard to win these cases. And so try and see. But apparently Brian Kelly was offered $25 million, and then he said no, and $30 million. and he said no, and he wants the email. Let's see, it says the $30 million would have come in 2 installments and included the elimination of mitigation and offset provisions. Brian Kelly did not agree to either. So they can try and do that. That's kind of the router. That happens on that. Your problem. A sport where I've got some concerns now. Like football is the second most popular American sport. We know that by television viewership. People love it. We love college football. NFL is number 1. College football is number 2. There's everything else. But people love this sport. The love of this sport's being tested. It's already been tested by the NIL stuff in some ways. There is some people who are upset about the way NIL is done, but not enough to make them stop watching. Conference realignment was one too, where I was somebody who's upset by that, but of course I'm not going to stop watching. Now the problem that you're seeing is that we are the values and ideas that people want. They think the kids are the players. People used to play for the love of the game. Okay. There's a whole list of reasons why some of that stuff has changed, right? There wasn't as much money that it was in college football before. Okay. But also I think what you're seeing now is whatever moral high ground these institutions had is gone because people want players to have loyalty to their universities. Universities should be training these kids for real life. Well, when I was at school in Mizzou, a lot of football players, basketball players end up on TV as media members. Guess what? You couldn't be in a journalism school. So you're kind of taking away a tool from them automatically, right? Time commitment, I understand, but also taking away a tool from them automatically. So really, how invested are you in that future? You're supposed to teach them values. Well, a value of frugalness went out the window with that stupid contract LSU signed. And also the one thing we talk about too is loyalty. People are upset. This is something that I get a lot on the radio shows I worked on and also from fans in general. People are upset that loyalty is gone in college football. They don't feel like they know the players, know the teams. Do you know why? Because the adults are setting a bad example. You know what's disloyal? Signing a contract for Brian Kelly, guaranteeing most of it, and now trying to weasel your way out of it. That is disloyalty. That is why should any player feel compelled to be loyal to university when the university is showing their ass as they are firing the coach and showing how disloyal they are? Look, man, like it didn't work out. That's fine. Pay the guy what you owe him. You made the contract. The contract sucks. He's not worth that much money, but you signed the contract and you're trying to get him to take less. And now you're saying, well, you won't take the buyouts. So here we come for cause. This is a terrible precedent. It's a terrible example you're setting for these young people. Every kid should be saying to be like, why would I be, not just LSU, why should I be loyal to any university? Coaches take jobs and leave. We've seen coaches take basketball jobs, and leave. We joke about Dana Altman here in Arkansas that, he left for the job before he could even call the Hawks. Mike Anderson left Missouri for Arkansas, in the heat of night. Chris Beard, what he did, flip-flop, Texas one not as much, but like when he got to Texas Tech, guy didn't even coach. I don't think he coached any games where he was supposed to be in the interim. You see this kind of stuff happen. And I'm fine with people looking out for themselves. I still think these coaches can look out for players and whatnot, but where is an example being set that these people care about the kids? And in return, why should the kids display any of these things? Oh, you're not showing loyalty. They don't show love of the game. No, they shouldn't. Why? Why should they? Brian Kelly's an asshole. Brian Kelly's been an asshole. And guess what? The school acted stupidly and dishonestly in their efforts to fire him. None of that sets a good example. I wouldn't want to be involved with Brian Kelly. I would not want to be involved with LSU. Okay? Hugh Freeze continually. We knew who Hugh Freeze was. He showed us he was a morally dubious person during his time at Ole Miss. And Liberty, a Christian university, hired him. And then he comes back to Auburn, and guess what? He was, wasn't good enough coaching-wise, but also continually threw his players under the bus. That guy has showed us who he is the entire time. But we want our players to be loyal to these coaches and these guys. We put these coaches up in pedestals. We make statues of these guys. It's ridiculous. Here's what loyalty looks like. Loyalty looks like what Jalen Hurts did at Alabama when he was benched. Okay? and stuck around, hung around, and eventually made something happen and did something impressive. With when they come in for Tua. And loyalty the other way around is when Nick Saban helped him land at a better spot as a transfer. That is what loyalty looks like. That is what loyalty looks like. That is, does it have to be the school? No, look, I mean, Jalen Hurts gave Alabama everything he had. And it was time for a better situation. And even when he got, even when Saban made a right decision to do that, he was there supporting the backup. He was there being a good teammate. Is it any wonder that Jalen Hurts has found a Nick Saban player who we hold in high regard, and also a guy that everybody says is an excellent teammate? Might not be the best quarterback in the world, but damn, does he win a lot of football games. He won at Bama, he won at Oklahoma, and he's winning with the Eagles now. Not surprising. That guy's a leader. That guy's a winner. That guy shows you those strong leadership qualities, the qualities that we hope all these players show. Okay? That's the bottom line. Like, I think we talk far too often about, like, we accept coaches making a lot of money because that's normal. We don't accept players chasing a lot of money and chasing a bag because it's still abnormal to us. But the reality of this is, on signing day a long time ago, kids were not flipping because of facilities. Kids were flipping in the last second because they were getting bigger bags. Guy just decommits here, goes here. Well, some money's freed up here, so we can offer this kid money here. That was the reality of it. Like it, love it, whatever, but it wasn't in your face. Now it's in your face and you don't like it. But here's the thing. The NIL rule was made for name, image, likeness. The adults are the ones who misuse the rule to pay the players, and we get mad at the kids for chasing the bag. The adults are the ones who keep jacking up their salaries and have ruined the conference and are increasing the number of games and are sending representatives to Saudi Arabia, UNC, Holiday Bowl, to discuss that private investment. And you're seeing the Big Ten now, some schools being kept in the dark about a plan for private equity. The schools are the ones being dubious. The schools are the ones being greedy, and we expect the athletes to be loyal and care about the name on the front of the jersey, especially in football when it's a car crash every play. No, go get your money, kids. Go get your money. They do not care about you. They don't. They do not care about you as a player. These coaches, most likely, some of them do care, not all of them. These coaches most likely just care about, like, their money, about doing a good job. And here's the thing, helping you out could be a byproduct of that. There are a lot of good coaches out there who are good people. And even if, like, they don't have a great personal relationship with you, you can still learn a lot of stuff from them that makes you a better man moving forward. And, you don't have to leave and be a better person. You don't have to do that. I mean, Hugh Freeze's setting some amazing example. Like, it's not always on them to set an example. But, like, if that's the issues and that's what we hear from fans all the time about, the kids don't have any loyalty. Kids just care about money. They're greedy. Who cares? Who knows they try hard. Yeah, guess what? Pack it up. You know why? Because the kids will come to his university to play for a coach, and the coach will get fired or he'll leave. And so we're expected these kids give all effort, all maxed out all the time. Why? Why should they? They might just be there to collect a check, man. Like, the NFL, you have it all the time. Guys mail it in. Guys give bad effort. You see in the NBA, guys get like teams will mail it in. And so it's crazy to me to hear people get upset about, like, the way college sports is. And you're looking, like, at this situation where the governor of Louisiana is trying to use this situation. Oh, not let Scott Woodward make the hire. You don't choose that. You've got no say over that, technically. And then now the school is arguing that Scott Woodward, the athletics director, whose name they put on the statement that they released that Brian Kelly is gone, is now arguing that he had no power to cut Brian Kelly loose. It is ridiculous. It is bullshit is what it is. It's total BS. And it is frustrating at this point, like sports league. Look, you want to act like the kids smile with their backpacks on and go to class, and they love their classmates, and they're rah-rah, and we're carrying the goalpost down to the river. And that happens sometimes. I enjoy the games. I watch them all the time. But, like, I am so sick and tired of hearing former players, of hearing former coaches, of hearing fans talk about how the kids have the wrong priorities, and the adults in the room are going to help those kids find the right priorities. No, they're not. They are not. Dabo Swinney said that he would stop coaching if kids got paid. Guess what? You know why he doesn't? Greed. He should make that money. Collect your check, but don't tell me you're going to stop playing when the kids get paid. It's bullshit. It's so unfair. Like, this is the thing. The football piece of it, I don't know that well. I don't. Like, I try the best I can. I work with all these folks that play football. I pick their brains. I didn't play as much. I do heart surgery. I wasn't allowed to play. And so I try to grow as much as possible from those people around me. But when it comes to everything else, a lot of college football, folks, is more sociology than it is sport. Because what happens is like there is no logic when it comes to, well, Brian Kelly has not coached a down of football at LSU. Let's give him a 10-year, $90 million contract. It makes no sense because these ADs are afraid of losing a guy. Here's the thing. If you're an athletics director and you go to your donors and you say sincerely, I love the coach, all right, and we appreciate you supporting the program. This Coach X wants 6 years for $12 million a year. And right now we're really at 5 for 10 because we need the other money that we're raising for our roster. And I believe that money is better spent on our roster. Coach X has been very good to us, but you know what? We can work very hard to find the new Coach X, and we will spend that extra money on the roster because that's where I think it makes a difference. And if you're willing to give more to keep that coach, that's fine. But I think it's important that we stress some prudence here so we're not stuck if things go sideways and we're in a situation where we are still supporting that roster. We're not giving everything away here because we're all on the same page. And the thing is, the donors might not have to agree with you, but like that is totally logical. That's a totally logical thing that you could say to a fan base. It makes a lot of sense. And guess what? If you get fired for that, that's fine. But like there is not endless funds. There's not. And ADs are always trying to raise money. And it should be for vision. Like there are schools that replace coaches all the time. VCU replaces coaches all the time. They always have coaches plucked away, and VCU is always in the NCAA tournament. I mean, Jeff Capel, Anthony Grant, Shaka Smart, Will Wade. Last I think Brian Odom got poached away. The coach they had previously, Rhodes. Rhodes got plucked away. App State has had a variety of coaches go and get jobs at other places and feed other places. Cincinnati has had a little bit of a pipeline of that happening. Okay, like this is not uncommon where people go to schools and those schools have a lot of success and they got to end up replacing the guy because it just ends up being a feeder school. If they're good and the coach wants to go somewhere else. That's changed a little bit in modern college football. That's been something that's happened in the past. Okay, but like that is the thing is that these places have the alignment. They know about how to run the programs. ADs come and go, but like the thing that the infrastructure stays there. And I think that that's starting to go away a little bit because we only play 12 football games a year and people are being impatient. Like there are no values that are being imparted upon kids right now, like loyalty and don't be greedy, just work, be happy with what you have and whatnot. None of that is all they're seeing is salaries for coaches go up. They're seeing the number of teams in a playoff go up. They're seeing the amount of money in the television contracts go up. They're seeing conference numbers go up about, the number of teams in a conference. I mean, all they're seeing is just stuff, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Why should they not chase that? And at least schools like Texas Tech and coaches like Kenny Dillingham see that and are okay with that. And they acknowledge that. There is a middle ground. Like there is a total middle ground where people can make money but still play for the love of the school. But or it doesn't always have to be one or the other. But fans have complained about there's no loyalty. These kids don't care. We learn when you were a kid, you learn from adults. You probably have some behavior your parents did. The adults in the room are showing horrendous decision-making, horrendous behavior, a lack of loyalty, a pursuit, a greed, a pursuit of wealth that is, it's been growing for years and years, recklessness when it comes to negotiation and business, and a disregard for working hard and taking time. I use that James Franklin example, man. Fine. He lost a lot of big games, But you won 10 plus. You had 10 plus win seasons in a 9-year stretch. The last time you did that, you won 2 championships with Joe Paterno. So your most successful stretch in your program's history also looks like the stretch you're having right now. I know it's not exactly what you want, and you think you can do better. But, man, $50 million to make that guy go away because of 3 bad weeks, I don't know, man. I really don't know. And what I do know is that, hey, Penn State, that's fine. But like that, I mean, like you're telling kids why shouldn't they quit? It's 3 bad weeks and you canned them. I know the big games that happen year in and year out, but you still were 1 throw away from a championship game last year. Drew Allar didn't throw that terrible pick. And people thought Drew Allar would be a pro prospect. But at least Penn State's not LSU. LSU, I mean, it's a great job. It's in a great place. The fans are fantastic. But the leadership there, which is they've been devoid of leadership because they had no president, and then also Scott Woodward got canned, and now the football coach is gone. But the leadership and the donors and the governor, they are making a mockery of this. And I don't know what any kid should feel. Like Gary Nussmeier goes out there and gets his ass kicked every week. Does he look good? No, but man, that kid's tough as hell. He's tough as nails. And he went out there and did it. And that kid has shown more character, maybe not quality. Well, actually, as much quality. Gary Nussmeier this year has shown more character and more quality than anybody above him, any adult above him in the state of Louisiana and at LSU. All right, he has shown more of that. He has been tough. He has been relentless. He has been consistent, and he got benched last week, and it sucks for that kid. But man, I mean, I've watched enough of him to know it's like he tried. He tried, like not a lack of effort, man, not a lack of effort. They should be taking cues from kids like that. Honestly, everybody should be learning from people like that. Okay, that's who we should be learning from. It is really, really frustrating. It's very, very frustrating to watch the sport go this way and watch the players. Like we've totally misplaced our anger. And the thing is that it's like, I think some of the stuff's so abstract, people just don't really understand. It's like I heard people this week getting mad about Texas Tech's defensive lineman getting $7 million. Why? You watch College Game Day. They pay those guys millions of dollars to be on the desk. You watch the games. The ratings say that. And they've got sponsorships all over the place. You know why? Because you watch. The kids deserve a piece of the pie. And the problem is they'll chase the bag. Their behavior in chasing that money is going to be bad because the people who are setting the example are doing a terrible job of that. No prudence, no loyalty. They do not care about anybody except themselves. Make the conferences bigger, make more money, make more playoff games, raise salaries, extensions, whatever. That's all the stuff they care about. I'm the guy extending Matt Rule. Dumbass. Well, I mean, you are like, you extended Matt Rule, and there's like 20 coaches who can do the same thing that he's done there, and you're afraid Penn State will take him. And same time, Penn State's like, why would it? Nobody's thinking. Nobody thinks about this stuff logically at all. Nobody asks, hey, who's who's trying to get our coach from us right now? Do we need to give Josh Heupel $9 million a year? Do we need to give this, Eli Drinkwitz $9 million a year a few years ago? Do we need to give Kurt Cignetti a 10-year contract? Do you need to do all those things? Do you have to? Nobody's making you do look, somebody else will want Kurt Cignetti. Sure, they might give him that, but that's not prudent. You don't have to be insane. You don't have to be insane. Just because other people are being insane does not mean you have to be. I think Wisconsin, like I talked about it last week, I think Wisconsin's smart for what they're doing. We'll handle private equity on a different day. I just had to get that off my chest because I've been so frustrated hearing some of these complaints about the kids. I really have been. It's tough to hear. Let's hear from our friends. It's something easy to hear. Our friends at DraftKings.
One play can change a season. One upset can silence a stadium. With every snap, the stakes get higher, and no one brings you closer to the action than DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting. From live betting to odds, boosts, and so much more, DraftKings Sportsbook has everything you need to stay in the action from kickoff to the final whistle. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. Own every Saturday with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NEIGHBORS. That's code NEIGHBORS to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I'm not sure if it's running, but once again, you can use the promo code NEIGHBORS and get a $5 free after a $5 bet. You guys can get $200 in bonus bets. So that's available right now with our friends at DraftKings. Really appreciate them for sponsoring this show. Appreciate y'all for watching this show. Wherever y'all get your podcasts as well. And one more word.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 8887-897777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
All right, folks, that'll do it for today's show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I'm at @JoshNeighbors_. The show is at CC Podcast JN. Like the video, sub to the channel. We'll talk to y'all mañana.